friends, and welcome to another episode of From Behind My Chair. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Cindy. I'm a hairstylist. I have a lot of years of experience in this industry and a lot of stories that I've experienced that I love to share with you guys. So hopefully you stick around, and if you like the content that I put out there, you consider subscribing. And speaking of my subscribers, I heart you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. You guys are the reason why I come back every single week to deliver my stories, because you guys like them and I like to tell them. So with that out of the way, I want to segue into story time. So this story happened in early on in my career. I was very young, and when I first started in the industry, I always say, I'm going to repeat myself, it was in the 80s. It was 85 when I started doing hair. I was in school in 1984, started doing hair in 1985, and I was very young. I was 18 years old. I had to actually wait till I was 18 to get my license, so I was young. I was the youngest one in the shop. So I started doing hair. I'm 18 years old. I'm the youngest gal in the shop. So I wasn't the best hairstylist, and back in those days I did a lot of men's cuts because I was a young gal, I was cute, and I was just trying to build a clientele. I was nice and friendly to everybody, and I did a lot of men's haircuts. So also I want to say, in my early years of doing hair, especially around that time frame, 80s was a really big party era. I mean, we watch a lot of movies about the 80s. Everything that you see in the movies is pretty close to how the 80s really was in my industry. It was like, that's another story for another time. But I had a fake ID, and I would go clubbing like down to my daughter is listening to my conversation. I would go clubbing, LA, Santa Barbara. I'm in Southern California, so a short drive to LA, short drive to Santa Barbara, and I would go clubbing like usually every Friday night, Saturday night, or every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night is what I would do. And that was not ideal for me because I always had clients on Saturday morning. So when I went clubbing with my friends on Friday night, sometimes we'd go out of town, we'd go to a club, we'd come back, go to an after party. Next thing I know, I gotta be at work. I have a 9 o'clock client, so I go to work with my club dress on. True story, people. Sorry, I'm not bragging. This is kind of ashamed, and my daughter's in the background laughing. But so like I said, I had a lot of male clients. So I would show up to work with my club dress, smelling of alcohol, working my day. But still, I made it to work, and I did it. Not my proudest moments, but I have a work ethic, and I definitely had a good, strong work ethic from the very, very beginning of my profession. So I had this client, a very good-looking guy, older than myself. He must have been maybe in his mid-20s. Like I said, at that time, I was 18, 19 with a fake ID. And so this particular client knew that I would go out clubbing with my girlfriends every weekend. And so I would see him often, and in those days, men did not get their hair cut often. They could have went 8 weeks in between haircuts because hair was longer. Hair was not short like it is today. It was longer. And this particular client, I'd see him often, and sometimes I was just cleaning up his neckline, his hairline, whatever. It was not even like a real haircut. So he was flirty. He was a flirty guy, and he always wanted to know, hey, what club are you going to be at this weekend? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to, whatever club my girlfriends and I decided to go to. I didn't quite know, didn't really plan out that well. And he was always asking me questions about where I was going to be, you know, what time did I leave? How late did I stay out there? I'm pretty naive. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I'm at work one day, and I'm cutting his hair, and him and I are making small talk and talking about probably the the weekend before, where I went, whatever. And I hear yelling, a woman's voice yelling. I hear, "You effing B, how dare you, I caught you having an affair with my husband, you're such a whore." And I'm like, I'm cutting hair and I'm looking over at this gal who's at the front. She's in the lobby and she's yelling in my direction. I'm looking around, I'm like looking back like, who the heck is she? Who's she yelling at? And I'm like looking behind me and she goes, you. And I'm like, and she goes, "Don't act stupid." And I'm like, and then my client gets up out of the chair and he's like, whoa, he's like, calm down. And he goes and he gets her by the shoulders and he's like, "You need to calm down right now." She goes, I caught you. She goes, "I finally get to see who she is. How dare you do this to me?" So I'm like, what is going on here? She goes, "You know what you're doing. You're a whore. You're a homewrecker." I'm like, me? She goes, "Don't act stupid." So she's like, arms are flailing and she's short. She's a short gal. She's really short. You know, she's my client, tall, really good looking guy. Probably could be a model. Super good looking. His wife, I would never ever, you know, they didn't seem like they were, you know, that they complemented each other as a couple, for lack of better words, okay? So she was trying to come at me. She wanted to rip my head off. She was accusing me of having an affair with her husband. I did not know he was married. He never ever spoke of a wife. Yes, he flirted with me, and for one, I don't date my clients. Well, I take that back. I did date 2 of my clients, but dating 2 clients in a total of 40 years, not bad, but I dated them for a short while. I'll save that for another time. But anyway, I never dated this guy. He wanted to, like, you know, go hang out with me. He wanted to go to the club, or he wanted to, you know, just hang out with me. And I was always like, yeah, I'm busy. I got stuff going on. I wasn't interested. You know, I thought he's a pretty boy. You know, he just probably wants to try to hook up with anybody. I'm like, yeah, not about it. So I would just kind of like blow him off. But his wife thought that I was having an affair with him, and she even knew my name. She was like, "Syndie, I know about you. I know what you guys have done." I'm like, news to me, because I had never done anything. I have never even seen this man outside of the salon. I have never had any contact with him. And in those days, we didn't have cell phones. So he would make an appointment through the salon. He didn't have my personal number. I had no contact with him whatsoever. But I was called out to be a homewrecker, whore, whatever. It was pretty entertaining for the whole entire salon. All eyes on me. People were gasping like, "Oh my God, Syndie would do that." I'm like, no, I would never do that. I would never do that. So it was pretty embarrassing, but that was something that I remember from back in that day. So guys, that's my story for the day. Pretty scandalous, huh? Yeah, but I'm innocent. Okay guys, like and subscribe and come back for more next week. All right, okay, bye.